It's me. You clicked on the video. How's it going? Listen, I know. Listen, I'm aware. So I didn't think I'd be here either. I thought I would get my one hyperfixation video on Amberlynn Reid and we'd call it a day, the transaction would be completed, and I'd get to hyperfixate on Girl World in private. But that's clearly not what we're doing here, is it? No, not a single person asked me to do this, by the way. Go look at the comments in that video. Nobody asked for this, but me. I asked for this. So a couple weeks ago, maybe closer to a month ago, as I'm filming and uploading this, I made a video about the most popular girl in school, Amberlynn Reid. And if you haven't seen that video, it's kind of like a comprehensive, like a little bit of a quick history lesson on this very controversial content creator. And right after I made that video, I'm literally talking about maybe 2 days later, she went batshit crazy. I mean, she was already in like the destructive live stream era, but it just got crazier. Pretty much what led up to it was Amberlynn Reid's ex-girlfriend, Fed Bundy, Emily, if you will, had spoken to a reaction channel, Mr. Snowflakes, there's multiple now, Mr. Snowflake, and had kind of given a rundown on what had happened in their relationship, the toxicity, the alleged abuse, and pretty much just calling out Amberlynn Reid for facilitating the disappearance of her own cat, Rarity. Amberlynn Reid went fucking bonkers on her live stream. This caused her aunt to come forward and, release her own texts with Emily, and then Amberlynn Reid was like, how dare you call my ex-girlfriend out for the things that I'm also calling her out about? And so her aunt went batshit crazy and was like just releasing all of this information about Amberlynn Reid, proving what we've already known, her to be a horrible person. And then folks, Amberlynn decided to imply and tell the internet that her aunt was complicit in the sexual abuse of minors with no proof, with no evidence. And so now her aunt is suing her, and that's where we left off, children. And so after what is this woman? After that, she decided to take a month-long break from the internet, and I use that very loosely. She was still in like chats, and she's got beef with TikTokers for some reason. She started posting like little shorts pretending she has a 9-to-5 job. Oh, sorry. A 2 to 9 job. My apologies. How could I get your hours wrong, my girl? I didn't mean to do that. So she's like cosplaying blue collar. She's cosplaying working class for some reason. I don't know why she's doing this. I know the trend of this is like super popular right now, to be like what I ate at my job. Also, first of all, she's not claiming to have a 9-to-5. She's claiming to have an 8 to 9. That's your work hours from corporate. Burn corporate down. Burn the fucking building down. I also love that she works these hours and the lighting never changes. I love that Amberlynn Reid has the power to keep the sun exactly where it is and to never move it even at 9 p.m. I love that she's the master of the sun. The sun will just do whatever you want, Pookie Bear. What the fuck are you typing? What is she typing? Wait, what? It's like quite literally gibberish. I work a corporate job. I work data entry, kinda, I mean, whatever. But I work a corporate job in which I type all the time, and I also type very weird. I don't use my thumbs and I don't use my pinkies. I use these 3 fingers and that's it. So I also type very weird. And as weird typer to weird typer, you're typing gibberish, babe. Is it possible for me to like flip the video? Oh, but I better be careful now with my accusations, because she might roll up into my DMs and start beef. I'm not kidding. And her supposed like I'm doing better than ever break from the internet, somebody was posting about her typing gibberish and she decided to like roll up into their TikTok DMs.
I never thought I'd be beefing with Amberlynn Reid, but here I am, because she sent me a message saying that she wasn't typing gibberish, she never claimed to have a 9 to 5, and that I'm pathetic. Alright, let's just go through this one by one. This clip of you typing, that's gibberish, right? You can't convince me otherwise, because you didn't press the backspace once, you pressed the space bar.
I thought it was peace and love here, girly. What happened? But don't worry, guys. In her live streams, she's gonna prove that she can type 85 words per minute with 55 errors. That's a third of your words. You're misspelling 1 out of every 3 words you type. That's not a flex. It's crazy that she let us see this, by the way. I don't care how fast I could type. If it said that many errors, I think I would jump off a building. I think I would jump off a roof. Also, she got bugs. She got bugs. Bed bugs. Not friendly little wormies. She got bed bugs. And like, hey man, it happens to the best of us, you know? It can happen from anywhere. I mean, somebody you just invite into your home can bring them in. Like, it happens to the best of us. But also, didn't you just make fun of your aunt for having bed bugs? Or am I mistaken?
That's a fruit fly! Oh my god, I told you guys in a recent live stream that I have fruit flies from the fruit.
Don't fucking lie to me. Don't try to gaslight me. I know what a fruit fly is. Don't you fucking dare. I can see it. I can see that bed bug. I can see its little legs. Don't try this with me. Don't you fucking dare. Also, those sores on your arm, like, aren't from your cat. I don't know how to tell you that, sweetheart. I don't know, baby girl, I don't know how to fucking tell you that.
Please, this is crazy. Oh, the cat scratches that I can't stop fucking picking.
Because last I checked, cat scratches are lines. Last I checked, they don't just like poke you like that. They don't poke you like a needle. They go. So those are bites. Also, I think like either Hecticana or Karina Kaboom was talking about how like bed bug bites typically come in rows of like clusters of 3 because they'll bite you 3 times a day if you're pretty dormant. And I'm not an expert. I am not Bob from Bob's Bugs Be Gone, but I believe that. Call me gullible, but I believe it. Like I said before, I know the whole what I ate today on a full day or like at work. Those videos are super popular. However, this very specific content is so fucking gross. It's absolutely disgusting. Not only is it like poorly disguised fetish content, but it's also just blatant eating disorder content. Usually I don't give a fuck about what goes into somebody else's body, because it's truly just none of my business. I've been to a Red Robin before, but come on, dude. Like, this is nasty. I think that some of the comments, and I'll put them up as I'm yapping, I think they say it best. Just like slowly committing suicide in front of us, girl. And it's gross, it's nasty, and you got a bed bug on you while you're doing it. You got a bed bug on you while you're eating your seafood boil. This wouldn't happen if you left your house. I know, you know, that I know we're not here to just make fun of a girl and her bed bugs. Hey, she says she's got friends. Maybe she's talking about the bed bugs. I gotta leave a girl and her bugs alone, you know what I mean? I know you know that's not what I'm here for. And if any of you are super invested in girl world, then you kind of know what video dropped a few days ago. That's really what we're talking about today. And I'm gonna kind of shift away from the jokey jokes because the subject matter for the rest of the video is rather serious. And it feels morally wrong to joke about real trauma inflicted onto somebody else rather than just kind of sharing the information that has been bestowed upon us. So for those of you who don't know, I mentioned at the very, very beginning of the video that what kind of caused this snowball spiral effect with Amberlynn Reid was her most recent ex coming forward to a reaction channel with just a lot of context surrounding their relationship and how abusive it was. And recently, this same ex came forward to another reaction channel. Her name is Rachel, and shared a lot more screenshots from that very, very specific day where an alleged, I don't want to say alleged because it's pretty much admitted in these text messages, act of domestic violence took place, along with the disappearance of Amberlynn's cat, Rarity. And it's a lot. It's exhausting. If you guys, please, I'm only going to cover bits and pieces of the receipts that were shared because it's a lot. Rachel's video will be linked down below, so please, please, please watch it if you haven't already. It is 2 hours long though, so get a drink and some popcorn and like maybe get a projector. I don't know, get a blanket. But with that being said, I'm going to issue a trigger warning now for topics of domestic violence, abuse, alleged animal abuse. So viewer discretion is advised from this point on. If any of these topics are triggering to you, I also should include gaslighting, manipulation, and narcissistic tendencies as part of this trigger warning. If any of these topics are sensitive to you, please get out now. Don't be offended. Your health comes first. With that being said, let's look into some of these and really just kind of get into it. There's a lot more context in Rachel's video about all of this. I'm just gonna read through some of the texts that I think display a lot about Amberlynn Reid and her behavior that I think is terrifying and problematic, and let's get into the shit show. You literally pushed me. That's how I ended up on the floor. I didn't body slam you, and I didn't mean to squeeze your arm. What the hell is happening? You imagined a whole argument while you were sleeping, Emily. That scared the fuck out of me. Now you're thinking I put you on the floor? I would never do something like that on purpose, ever. You literally did that after you told me I deserved to be abused. I'm sorry, Amberlynn, but being with you isn't worth this bullshit. You just ruined any chance of this ever working. Okay. You wouldn't push me, and that's out of the question, but you grabbed me, right? But yet I full-fledged had to deal with your rampages where you say the most awful shit anyone has ever said to me. And I've had to forgive you and move on over and over and over and over. This is why I don't open up to anyone. And I was stupid to trust you. You've said the same stuff to me, about Jade, about everyone in my life. Telling that I must have made Jade abuse me. You said that, but I forgave you, like I always do. I asked what the circumstances that led up to her hitting you. Okay, so the inciting incident, this is the thing that Amberlynn made like this like, about. Basically, what had happened, according to Emily, and this is pretty much confirmed throughout these texts, is that Emily was having some kind of night terror, instigated an argument with Amberlynn Reid, and pretty much Emily was grabbed by the arm, nail marks in her arm, and was pushed onto the floor. These are implying a few things. Number one, this is also important context that I didn't get into in my last video, but Emily has an ex that did abuse her at gunpoint, and there's a whole police report about it. Again, Rachel's video goes into a lot more detail about that situation, but just know that there is a history of Emily being abused. And right now, Amber is making allegations against Feline pretty much without any proof or anything. And I think with Amberlynn's history, I never think you should question a victim, but I think with Amberlynn's history of exaggerating or just kind of straight up lying about stuff, it is important to question these things because she is known to deceive and to manipulate the truth for attention. Now am I gonna say that this didn't happen to Amber? No, of course not. Even the worst people you know can be victims. And I've heard through the grapevine that there were allegations of alcoholism and a lot of just shitty things on Jade's part. But all of that is speculation and rumors. And right now this is currently speculation and rumors. So I don't want to speak too much about the Jade situation, but Emily admitted to what she said. And this, at least Emily was like, I said this, yeah. I asked this question, but I said that. Amber can't own up to the things that she has said and the things that she has said that have harmed Emily. Yeah, you asked that, but during an argument, you told me that I pushed her to do it. And I had to sit there and hear you say that about me. And I cried, blah, 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 whatever. I'm gonna ignore that one. You were shining a bright light in my face. It was the note part on my phone. It's still bright. I'm sorry, if I'm in any kind of darkness, any light on my phone is bright. Don't fucking do that. Don't do that to me ever. I told you to stop. That's not being rude. And it was the lowest light setting too, because we were in pitch black. So even more of a reason to not do that. Especially if you notice somebody is having an episode or they are having some kind of mental attack in the middle of the night. That's the last thing you want to do, by the way, is kind of flash a light in their face and wake them up. Are you an idiot? Are you fucking dumb? The answer is yes, but I'm explaining to you that I was trying to hold you and calm you down before you got in your truck and did something stupid. The life insurance thing scares me. I didn't want you to do anything bad. I didn't want you to hurt yourself. I was half asleep and not thinking clearly. I don't think you understand how scared I was when you woke me up like that. Instant PTSD fight mode. Flight wasn't even an option. So I am not here to question Amberlynn Reid's mental diagnosis, but Emily has diagnosed PTSD, and you want to claim a PTSD episode for this to your partner that has PTSD. I'm not going to sit here and say that Emily did not like reactive abuse. If in fact she had this whole episode where she freaked out and started yelling at Amberlynn for an argument or a fight that happened in her head in a dream, shit, go to a therapist, my guy. But none of that warrants what Amberlynn proceeded to do. Also with this, the whole life insurance thing, I don't quite understand this. I don't understand. Maybe I need more context to what the life insurance part means. And maybe I've watched like way too much true crime, but that feels weird, right? Doesn't it? I think so. I think that feels really fucking weird. PTSD or not, you don't lay hands on anyone. You're always saying I laid my hands on you is scaring you. I didn't hit you. I didn't intentionally push you. I didn't intentionally scratch you. I never would. I scratched you on accident when we were literally just cuddling. Rage is where I try to leave and you don't let me because I have PTSD. Okay, Amberlynn, whatever makes you feel better. So here's my thing. My thing is, right from here, she kind of low-key admits that she put her hands on Emily and scratched her in any case. I'm not gonna say that like doing it on accident is abuse. If it was truly done on accident. However, you still hurt your partner. Intentionally or not, it hurt them. That is the bare minimum. Grabbed your arms and dug your nails into my arm, then body slammed me on the floor. What? Emily, that did not happen. I've never done that a day in my life. You're way fucking stronger than me and you know that. I'm weak as fuck and we joke about that. Okay, so you're 500 pounds. You are over 500 pounds, my guy. It doesn't matter if she is stronger than you in terms of like what she can lift. You are 500 pounds. I work out like pretty consistently. I cannot move. I cannot push 500 pounds. And like there's a lot of people who work out every single day that 500 pounds to just push is a lot. And at any force, because, and this is basic physics. Go back to school, Amber. In basic physics, your weight contributes to the amount of inertia and force you exhibit. So you just moving at the weight that you are at is going to exert a lot of force, whether you intend it to or not. So yeah, you may not have thought you pushed. You may have been like a slight shove, a little nudge. You weigh 500 fucking pounds. What were you expecting? Then how did I end up on the floor, Amberlynn? I just told you. I was trying to hold you, but I tripped on the fucking blanket on the floor and almost went down. That's why I hurt my ankle. I just explained that to you. I would never, ever, ever do that. When you're on the floor trying to make up, but you want to get up, so I started rubbing your back and telling you it'll be okay. And you told me not to touch you, so I stopped touching you. Because you knew you fucked up. Big time. That's pretty self-explanatory, actually. That's pretty fucking, like, yeah. Also, again, there's no mention of Amberlynn, like, apologizing for getting Emily into that position in the first place. Like, I bumped, you know when you bump into a stranger and you go, oh, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to do that? Yeah, you still have to do, that's still a courtesy you owe your girlfriend when you knock her to the fucking floor. But I deserved it, right? Megan tried to kill me, I deserved that? No, you didn't. My God, Emily, you literally fucking said that. No, I didn't. I said you pushed Megan, didn't you? I should have never said that. In my brain, I remember what you said about Jade. Since I was angry, I want to say it back to you. And I shouldn't have. I regret it. I take full accountability. So no, I'm sorry.
I don't care what I did while hurting. I don't care.
So no, I'm sorry, that was fucked up of me. You're excusing what you said, which is fucked up.
I don't care what I did while hurting. I don't care.
You can't just excuse me, say like, okay, I take accountability, but here's why I did it, and here's why I'm not wrong, and here, fuck you. You can't do that. That is not how taking accountability works. That's not how apologizing works. You are making excuses for the shit that you say that harms the people around you, and you wonder why people hate you. You wonder why you can't keep a steady girlfriend. You wonder why your family wants out of your life. You wonder because you say shit like this and you excuse it with, well, but you first. But you first.
There's nothing to hold me accountable with. That's the point. That is the actual point.
Do you want me to call my mom? Because I'll call her right now. She said she's awake. Unless you want to talk about this in person and call me. This is 4 a.m. I believe Emily is at work, at her job, where she is a nurse, working, bringing home real big girl money and not I grift on the internet money. Yep, you can tell her I'm kicking you out because you took a chunk of skin out of my arm. That's fair. I'd kick somebody out for that too. After everything you already know about my PTSD and how it still affects me to this day, you still use it against me. Maybe I'm meant to be alone forever. We both have done some shitty shit. You don't love me, you love yourself. Like the low blows you said to me. No, I love you. I hate, girl, I need her to shut the fuck. It's straight from, Emily is very to the point and succinct about what she is upset about, what her grievances with Amberlynn Reid are, and how she has been treated. And yet, she still somehow finds a way to play the victim. Because regardless of your intent, it's the whole thing you learn about intent versus impact. Regardless of Amberlynn, if we take her at face value, which I don't, if you take her at face value and she really did not mean to push Emily to the ground and grab a chunk of skin out of her arm, you still did it. And you still did it under the pretense of an argument, and you didn't apologize. There is no I'm sorry here for what you did, regardless of why you did it or if you meant to do it or not. That's the whole thing. And that's the part of accountability she doesn't understand, is that you can still hurt somebody whether you mean to or not. See, this is what hurts worse than you saying this shit initially. You can't just admit that you fucked up. You have to say, I've said hurtful things to you. When you come at me like you do, how do you expect me not to react? I am admitting I fucked up. Take some accountability. Go back and read everything I said. I even said I take accountability. That's not how accountability works. Accountability is you recognize what you did and you're like, how can I fix this? What can I do to change? And you have to actually implement the change into your daily lifestyle. You fucking nitwit. You absolute buffoon. So I do it and it's still not good enough. You just asked for it and I told you I've already done it already without you having to ask. I would never physically hurt somebody, no matter the situation. I didn't mean to physically hurt you, Emily. I would never do that to you. You did. You know that deep down. And I'm sorry that that's how everything happened, but I didn't do those things on purpose. I wouldn't. Once again, we are beating the dead horse of intent versus impact. Regardless of if you meant to or not, you know, somebody who has been through this kind of abusive situation and has PTSD from an abusive partner, at the first sign of physical violence, regardless of if it was intended to be that or not, they have every right to run and want you out. Now, we know that's not what happened, and I think Emily's a fucking moron for going back. However, this wasn't a toxic and abusive relationship, and those dynamics are very tricky to navigate. But she had every right to want her to leave and to not want to be her partner anymore. At the first sign of abuse, regardless of if it was intentional or not, whether they say it was intentional or not, because you have no way to prove that. You're not in their head. You don't know them. She had every right to want you out and to want an out. Point blank period. You had to stop yourself when you picked up that water bottle to throw at me too. What the fuck? I squeezed the water bottle and they were like, are you planning on throwing that at me? And I immediately set it down because I didn't want you to think that. Okay. So you know what would actually make me think that you wanted to throw a water bottle at me is if you, I don't have a water bottle, but if you like if you were like this and I was like, are you gonna hit me? And you go, that's so guilty. What the fuck? Now I'm gonna think think you wanted to hit me even more. What is wrong with you? Also, again, in an argument, I don't ever like, and she made a comment like this on her live stream that was like, I could pick this up and like not actually throw it, but I could want to throw it. That's still abusive. You know, when I'm mad at somebody, I don't think about like throwing shit at their head or even like consider it. You know, that's still like abusive. This is a full screenshot from Rachel's video, but this kind of discusses the Papa John's order came at that point in time, and they've been having issues. In Rachel's video, the context she provided, what the fuck, ew. Now I got fruit flies, oh no, I'm turning into Amberlynn Reid. Basically, in the context of Rachel's video, she provides that the front door and the back door are adjacent. So, and this is in terms of the rarity situation of it all, and I'm really like, right now, I'm more talking about the abuse, and we'll get into rarity in a second because I don't want to sweep that under the rug because animal abuse is just as horrendous. However, we are not there yet. Basically, this proves that if Amberlynn Reid was going to the door or they rang the doorbell and it was closed, that there's no way that the door was open for that long for Rarity to get out, was the point.
Fruit fly, I've said 900 different times that Emily left the door open and I wanted to protect her
and told the Papa John driver that she was not the one who ordered the food. So this means confirmed proof, hard fucking evidence. Amber was downstairs in the area where the back door is at 3:12, meaning that she would have seen and felt that the back door was open because the back door is exactly adjacent to the front door, and she wouldn't have needed to wait for Emily to come home to sit down at the table and feel the cold breeze because she would have known for sure that that back door was
the full screenshot of Rachel's video. She describes it much better than I do. Please watch her video for that extra context. She explains it much more eloquently. I'm just here to provide the receipts and really react to them. That's kind of what I'm here to do. Do you want me to leave or can this be fixed? I love you a lot. Do you love me? Using the emoji is crazy here. You were having, first of all, why are you having these emotional ass conversations over fucking Instagram DMs? What? This feels like a conversation you would want to have in person and not over fucking Instagram DMs. I don't know why this is happening the way it's happening, but I don't like it. I thought you were happy with me though. You said that I help you and you don't know what you'd do without me. I can't beg for you to be with me. It makes me feel so pathetic. So what Amberlynn Reid here is doing is she's trying to make herself look like a prize. And she's like, remember how you said like the worst thing that could ever happen to you is losing me? Well, guess what? If you do this is the worst thing that could ever happen to you. Where it's, again, putting the onus and the blame onto Emily, who in this very specific situation is the victim. And it is just another manipulation technique. And I'm going to speak very candidly as somebody with borderline personality disorder. Parts of this and Rachel's video do have borderline tendencies. It's a lot of, at least when I would be having an episode and I would be having an argument, it would be me apologizing profusely. I had done something that had harmed them, had hurt them, and I would be apologizing, and it would quickly turn into a rage at myself. And when that didn't work, and then when they were still raging at me or they were still upset, it would very quickly turn into I hate everything about them is horrible. It's very black and white. It's a very black and white mentality. And here you lose a lot of the black and white, and it's more so manipulative. It's very much so not fear of abandonment, not fear of losing what the relationship is. It feels more like losing control of the narrative. Especially with here, it's like she's not upset about losing the relationship or losing Emily and what they have. It's more so losing like, well, I thought I was everything to you. I was everything. I meant the whole world to you. It's losing what that makes her feel like. And that is where, to me, this feels more narcissistic and less so borderline. But I am not a psychiatrist. I have an English degree, so who knows? You have told me that I emotionally neglect you. If that's true, then why do you want to be with me? Because I talked to you about it and you said you were going through something. You told me that it'll pass and things will get better. I believe you and I want to be with you. Now the question is, do you want to be with me? I miss you so much. I can't give more than I already am. I'm drained. I cried at work today telling blank about last night. Once again, Emily is calling out, like, if I am this to you, why do you want to be with me? And I think that's such an important question to ask. Like, if you say I treat you horribly, why do you want to be with me? And once again, it's not because Amberlynn doesn't list any, like, here's X, you know, it's something that I can look past while you're working on because I love this, and this about you. It's like, well, you told me you're gonna work on it, so I trust it. And it's, you want this person under your thumb. You like the idea of controlling the person. You don't actually want the person. And this is where I think this message is so important. I can't handle the B episode. It triggers me to the point of shutting down. It's not fair. It's redacted. Because I'm triggered by you screaming at me over something like not asking nice enough to go outside and smoke for alone time. Once again, I've said this before and I'll say it again and again and again. Nobody is responsible for handling your mental illness. If somebody cannot handle your mental illness, they have every right to want an out. They do not have to handle it because nobody is equipped to handle, especially what goes on with somebody who has borderline personality disorder. I have it and I can barely handle what goes on in my own head half the time. So that is such a reasonable thing to ask for. I know it's hard and exhausting and I'm so very sorry for that, but we love each other and you said that you didn't think you'd be able to find this kind of love and yet here I am. I don't want to lose you. Again, she's treating herself like she's the prize. And it's not her, like, it's like, I'm waiting for them to email me back. It's the weekend, so they aren't working. Okay. And there's so many forums and so many things that on the internet accessible to you. Again, also, there's hotlines. If you're having an episode, you're having a meltdown, especially with borderline personality disorder, where it's so volatile, because the statistics of you harming yourself or harming somebody else when you have borderline personality disorder are significantly higher than they are for other people. I don't want to lose you because of an illness I have due to childhood PTSD and trauma. It's so beyond unfair. Stop blaming your own. You are 35. You have bodily autonomy. At this point, regardless of your mental illness, you know what is right and wrong. I'm sorry, you should have been looking for help years ago. I also remember in the Destiny Beck live stream where Amber like vehemently denied that she had borderline personality disorder. And it's like, the signs were there then and you didn't get help. You're never going to get help. And at this point, if Emily clocks it as a lost cause, you take the L and you go. I'm going to go to bed when I get home. I haven't slept. I'm watching Mr. Snowflake's new video. In case you described it, you grabbed their arm with your nails and was the exact same way you grabbed me. I am not going to misgender Casey here. I did that to Casey because he choked me. How can you sit there and compare that after what I told you last night about him? It's kind of absolutely nuts for her to still be dragging this out. And when she admitted that it was a lie and then took it back, I was 19 when that happened, 16 years ago. And the fact that you're watching that makes me so fucking hurt. I can't believe you. To sit there and believe him after I opened up to you after what he did to me and he still puts me through. I'm sitting here crying and feeling remorseful, thinking of all our good memories and thinking of ways to improve our relationship while you're sitting there somewhere in your truck watching my abuser tell lies about me. I literally cannot believe this is real life. Again, it feels less like Amberlynn is upset about the situation and being like how it feels like that she's upset that her narrative of her life and what she has built is crumbling because she has documented her lies on the internet for all of us to see. And I hate bringing Casey into this, but in regards to Amberlynn, it's like, also it's something I talked about you last night. That feels like a very convenient time frame to talk about it, right? After you did something to harm your partner, you're like, well, but I went through it, so you can't be mad at me. It feels very disingenuous. It feels icky. I'm contacting my mom and I'm packing my bags. I'm such a fool to trust you and to think you actually loved me. I feel so dumb. I can't believe I trusted you and opened up to you about last night. I should have never said anything. Nice try to reverse Uno, Amberlynn. No, that's quite literally what she's trying to do. She's trying to know you, this whole situation. And it's like, and it's all spiraling because she couldn't just be like, I am sorry, I did what I did. How can I work on this? And just like take the mature way out and be like, if you are done with me, you're done with me.
It's a spiral. You literally grabbed me and dug your nails into me last night. No, I didn't. Are you kidding me? You told me I scratched you. No, I grabbed you with my nails. What nails, Emily? I'm done. Thank you for clarifying why I need to leave. I don't know how to tell her this, but since this is a text thread, you can go back and look at it. Emily's always said that. I think I just mentioned like 2 minutes ago that Emily said you dug a chunk of her skin out with your nails. Like, this is, her narrative hasn't changed once. And that's something that Rachel pointed out, and that's something that's so important to point out, is that Emily is precise and succinct with what the problem is, and that hasn't wavered. And yet all of Amber's explanations seem to be throwing whatever at the wall and hoping it sticks. I said multiple times that your nails grabbed me and dug your nails in, and now it's just a scratch. Beat around the bush all you want. You know you physically assaulted me. The fact that you can't even own up to it is just great. Go ahead and call your mom. I was trying to fix this, but I can't be the only one to do it. You literally kicked me. You won't admit it. You're crazy. You straight up kicked me. And this is referring to a situation in which Amberlynn claims that Emily kicked her off the couch and she hit the floor or whatever. Here's my thing about that too, is once again, I work out pretty frequently. I think Emily and I are around the same like frame and size. And I can't do one leg press is probably my like ego lift. I can lift the most with a leg press, which is kind of like a kicking motion if you're on a couch. And 500 pounds, I can't get more than like maybe 2 reps in at full body weight. So you're trying to tell me that lackadaisically Emily kicked you off the couch. I don't fucking buy it. I don't buy it. Not for a fucking second. I don't buy this fucking magic beans you're selling me. Magic beans for a cow so old that you had to tell a lie to sell the witch you told. Were they worthless beans? Were they oversold? Tell us who persuaded you to steal that gold. See, it's your fault. And then we get into the pictures of the actual marks on Emily's arm. This is better explained by Rachel. Yes, they were taken on the same day. Emily sent both of them over Instagram, deleted them. I can't remember the reason why. It was explained in Rachel's new video. I watched that at work, so I was kind of like in and out of focus.
And as they were texting, Emily says that she realised that Amber was using the photos to show to her mum, and she was lying about the photos to her mum. So that's why Emily deleted them from the thread, because she didn't want Amber using proof of her own DV experience against her and using the pictures to lie.
But just know that it is explained in Rachel's videos, which are linked down below if you want more of a deep explanation. But Amberlynn's claim was that Emily took the pictures on 2 different days, and that's just not true. You can see the fucking early bruising, which is even darker today. You are ignoring what I'm saying, like fingerprints. What are those nail marks? I am showing you how you fucking grabbed me. No, you fake nail marks and just got caught. I literally sent you the photo last night. The nail marks, what are those? So Rachel was talking about how the fact that Amberlynn was on the phone with her mother at this time. And because Amberlynn was on the phone with her mom, I'm pretty sure this is where this narrative started with the nail marks. Again, it's crazy to do this because there's timestamps. And Emily was saying earlier that you could start to see it. And again, like, even with whatever, I think Amberlynn mentioned Emily had some kind of medical condition that made her prone to easy bruising. Even then, it is very hard if you just gently grabbed her. I was just trying to hold you, for the nail marks to be that bad. I showed you the nail marks with the bruises underneath to show exactly how you fucking grabbed me. That's not how I grabbed you. My God. Are you fucking kidding me? You grabbed my arm, squeezed with your fingers, digging into my arm. Emily, I know you didn't do that because the whole time I was just trying to hold you. Steven said he will come get me. Amberlynn, you admitted to me that you did and said how terrible you felt. Now you suddenly didn't do it. Once again, it's like straight up gaslighting. I don't know why Amberlynn thinks gaslighting over text is going to work. All it takes is like one scroll up and it's like, I found it. I'm pretty sure I can put it right here where she admitted to it. Here it is. Okay, what the fuck? It's psychotic behavior. It is so psychotic. And this is like the mind of a deeply deranged human being that, I'm sorry, she needs inpatient psychiatric help. She needs to be taken to a fucking facility, and that's not me being over dramatic, because she has proven time and time again that she is a harm to herself and others. So if you use your momentum to swing 500 pounds at me when I'm not expecting, it wouldn't cause me to fall over because I'm stronger than you. I was trying to get out the door. How the fuck do I swing 500 pounds at you when I can barely move that quickly? Once again, I'm a physics person. This is a physics related thing.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because the inertia you exude at that weight is just significantly higher. That it's going to cause significantly more force simply because you weigh more. That is how science works. That is how it works. That's why, like, regardless of how fast it's going, if you accidentally hit yourself with like a 20-pound dumbbell at the same force you hit yourself with like a 5-pound dumbbell, it's gonna hurt worse with the 25-pound dumbbell because it weighs more, and that's how it works. And it wasn't until I saw that you did the exact same thing to someone else that made me realize that this will happen again. Why, you believe that, bitch? Imagine if I said that about your exes. You'd fucking flip. The bad about both of us, right? You can't even admit that you hurt me when you admitted it last night. And you said you believed Megan literally last night. So that's the whole, first of all, wow, calling your ex a bitch is kind of crazy to me. I don't want to get into that. I don't want to talk about that. And like the blatant misgendering of Casey in these texts is absolutely bonkers, bingo bonkers. The thing is though, it's like, again, Emily is precisely right here. It's like the patterns are available, and the amount of times that an ex has come forward and been like, you abused me. Yeah, Emily has every fucking right to think like this. It will happen again. And I'm sorry. I don't care if it was long distance after this. I don't know why you stayed together. And I've seen the discourse on the like Reddit and the internet about why didn't Emily call the cops. And I mean, I'm kind of on her side with that, especially with the trauma she already has with the police report and PTSD with her ex. I can imagine trying to call the cops on Amberlynn for this situation it would be difficult, but also it's Wisconsin. It's not exactly a female friendly state. So I can understand why Emily didn't, but I gotta question the choice to just not completely shut her out. And I think that's where Rarity came into play, unfortunately, was that, you know, even if Amberlynn was forced to go, there was still forced contact because of Rarity. And I wouldn't have been surprised if some of the ways they got back together were because Amberlynn would be like, any updates on Rarity? Any updates on Rarity? Any updates on Rarity? And just forcing contact with somebody that she knowingly abused. Again, whether it was intentional or not, you still harmed your partner. And that is abhorrent. It's just a strange coincidence that he said you grabbed him the exact same way you grabbed me last night. I can't do this. There's so much comparing I can make too, but I don't. And that is her like go-to. Again, it's the no, you. No, but you. No, but you did this. And it's like that doesn't, once again, somebody's wrongs don't negate your rights. Like somebody doing the exact same thing wrong doesn't make you right all of a sudden. It's just like, okay, well then they're a hypocrite, but you're still a problem. Not funny to laugh, but this made me laugh, so I'm sorry. I just don't understand how our relationship led to this, but it did. Steven is coming to get me this weekend. You've officially lost me, the very thing you feared, and the thing I feared. I'll forever cherish our happy memories, so thank you for those. It is the weekend. So you're telling me you're gonna be here for another week, making my life miserable? It's because it's her blatant attempt to be like, one last chance. Tell me not to go and I won't, or else you lose the best thing that ever happened to you. And she's like, you're gonna make me miserable for another week? I'll kill myself. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I was breaking up with somebody and they fucking said me that, like, you're gonna be here for another week, making my life miserable. Cut it. Cut the fucking cameras. It's over for me if that ever happened. You're right, because I have BPD. My brain won't let me think those things. I hate my brain. I have this illness, blah, 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 blah. You can't blame your shitty behavior on BPD. I think that's why you don't want counseling, because you know they're going to tell you. You know that's what they're going to tell you. Yeah, Amberlynn doesn't want to hear that the problem is her. She wants to blame it on whatever mystery illness so she can be a medical anomaly that allows her to be a shitty human being. That's what she wants. Having to take accountability isn't something you're willing to do. That's why you're not getting therapy, period. You can't even admit that you physically hurt me last night. Grabbing and squeezing isn't a fucking accident. Start taking accountability here. What, again, yeah, and that's the thing. It's like, I've been speaking a lot about intent versus impact because, again, regardless of if it was intentional or not, the fact that you did it is still a problem. But that is not something you do accidentally. I've never, like, accidentally, like, squeezed somebody unless I've had cuteness aggression, which I want to do with Sebastian Stan all the time. But it's like, I've never done it. Now we get to the Rarity stuff from the Mr. Snowflake video.
once again, I want to preface this by saying they've been having this conversation over a 12-hour period on November 17th. And only now, I think this is at like 10 o'clock, is she talking about that she hasn't seen Rarity. Mind you, Amberlynn's story was that Emily left the back door open. Emily has confirmed, and again, Emily's an unreliable narrator, so take it with a grain of salt, that Amberlynn watched her close the back door, but I'm going to just kind of superimpose these here. That it's mentioning Rarity and Princess specifically just to get Emily's attention, because clearly her playing the victim just isn't working the way she wants it to. Just more than ever now, I think that she let that poor fucking cat out on purpose. And it's hard to talk about that, because I physically can't get in the mind of somebody who would do something like that, because your pets are innocent. And she had Rarity since she was a kitten. I can't imagine, you know, being so up my own fucking ass to let my child out in hopes of it bringing somebody back. This behavior is just so gross. Anyway, here's a text. After Amberlynn was on her live stream recently, you know, she was like, "Oh, Emily is threatening me, me. Here's actual text of Amberlynn threatening Emily, so that's fun. Absolute fucking hypocrite here. And that's all we received from Rachel. That was a lot. That was a lot to handle mentally, emotionally, and physically.
Ladies and germs, here's some snippets of Amber talking about Rachel's video for our viewing pleasure.
Just miserable. I can't show receipts because I'm on the device that has the receipts on. You guys barely think I can brush my hair, let alone get up and body slam someone. You just flop on her. Oh my god, stop. No. All I have is my truth. I'm just thankful for journaling, because if it wasn't for that, then someone that you thought was a... And I did not lie in this live. Like, wow, someone with BPD gets unhinged when, Rachel love, you ugly? Yeah, and I said ugly because everything you've done is ugly as fuck.
It's hard to, you know, find any amusement in this creator anymore. And as much as it's fun to pick on the girl throwing her life away and doing it cognitively, it's a lot less fun to discuss the evilness behind the surface. And while I don't like Emily, and I think Emily is abusive in her own right, I mean, we have to remember that she facilitated the death of her ex-wife, ex-fiance, I'm not entirely sure off the top of my head. But it is the fact that regardless of how much fun it is for us to poke fun, and, you know, I'm even part of the problem making a video like this. I really shouldn't have, but I think talking about this in a more serious manner is a little bit more important, because we keep giving her money. We keep platforming this horrid human being, and as much fun as it is, it has to stop. Because we are just putting money in her pocket, and we are giving her a platform where she can just not acknowledge her abuse and not acknowledge how awful she is, and can continue to do it. And this is just one situation of many, and I know that a lot of people are going to have a lot of opinions on this, and I took this a little bit more seriously because I felt like the subject matter deserved a little bit more seriousness from me. But I think what the reaction channels have been doing, and I know a lot of us consume our content specifically only from reaction channels. I don't know. I think just deplatforming this person is the only way that anyone can properly heal from any of this. If anybody can, it's one of those things that's like, You got a tiny glimpse of what we've already known to be true. And now we wonder how much worse it was. I think very specifically about Beck, because their relationship was rocky on camera. I just physically can't imagine the way Amberlynn spoke to Beck in private, if that's the way she spoke to her soft, true love. Anyway, that's all from me. Thank you guys so much for watching. I know this one's long and it doesn't have a lot of funny little edits and cuts and clips. It's just me raw dog into the camera. I'd like to thank you. If you didn't, go fuck yourself. I'm just kidding. I actually have to go. I have a fruit fly in my room. This is real and I have to kill it. And it's not a bed bug. It's not a fucking bed bug. Why would I do that? I would not lie about having a bed bug and having a fruit fly. Bye.